if you're ever interviewed by a predator, my goal is that you are the worst candidate for them. Second, empower your own needs and your own safety. That's again, learning to be a people pleaser, thinking about what do I actually want in this situation? How do I feel safe in this situation? What do I owe myself, not other people? Hi, how's it going? How are you doing? I hope you're feeling wonderful. In today's video, I will talk about situational awareness. I have made videos in the past in which I talked about and showed some techniques on self-defense, physical self-defense, how to protect your space in case you have to. And in this video, I will go a couple of steps back and talk about situational awareness, about boundary settings, about the importance of saying no. And if you don't want to watch the whole video, no is a complete sentence. That's so important. When you're saying no, it's a non-negotiable. No is a no. And if you want to continue watching, thank you so much. I will elaborate on this. This video is heavily inspired by two books that I've read previously, which is When Violence is the Answer and The Gift of Fear. And I'll talk more about The Gift of Fear because this is more about situational awareness. It's written by an author who has actually changed many laws around security. And he is talking so much about the importance of trusting your instincts and about exactly this. No is a complete sentence. So I'll be talking about this, and I will also talk about how you can develop situational awareness, how you can learn to trust your instincts again, because so often we learn to override our instincts. For example, in this book, there was one situation, he actually describes it in the very beginning, where a woman was having, she went shopping and then she came back home into the apartment complex, and she noticed that the apartment complex wasn't locked, like the door wasn't locked. So it was like a little bit open still. And she went into the complex, she then closed the door all the way. She was going up the stairs and something from her shopping bag just went bye-bye down the stairs. And then suddenly she heard a guy talking downstairs. He said something like, oh, let me get this for you. And she said, no, that's okay. He said, no, that's fine, I'll bring it up for you. Then he comes up the stairs and he gives her the, whatever it was, cat food. And then he offers her to bring the stuff up, like to help her with her shopping bags. She says, no, that's fine, I'll do that. She said, no. And he says, don't worry, it's no problem for me. Which level are you in? She said, I'm on the 3rd level. He said, that's great, I have to go there too. So, and I'm a little bit late, and like my watch just suddenly broke and I'm a little bit late anyways. Let me help you. She says, no, that's fine. And he says, okay, you know what? There's something as being like too proud. Did you know that? And she's like, okay, fine. And then he goes up with her, and then she opens the door and she says, okay, thank you, I'll take it from here. He said, no, it's fine. I bring this up here. I promise I'll be gone after that. So she opens the door and he goes in, he brings the stuff, he locks the door. And what happened after is a lot of SA, a lot of stuff that shouldn't happen. And she actually managed to escape and then thankfully tell the story. Thank God she's safe. Other women before her were not so lucky. She was, and she went to the author of The Gift of Fear and then talks about her experience. And through the conversation, it became clear that her instinct was telling her that something is not right. And they were going through that. They were talking about what it was. The first example, that she suddenly heard a voice even though she didn't hear anybody entering. So he must have waited in the hallway already. So our instinct, or her instinct in this case, is like the most primal thing. Before your cognitive thinking mind makes sense of stuff, Your instincts are already telling a story. The instincts already know what's going on. Then she saw that guy and he seemed really nice, and let's say he was even attractive. I don't know if that was the case, but he was young and nice and calm and funny. So she's like, oh no, he can't do anything bad because he looks normal. For some reason, people have the perception as if somebody who does terrible things must look like a monster, but that's totally not the case. So then she learned to just not trust her gut. She's like, oh, I'm overreacting, I'm hysterical. Then she wants to, continue taking the shopping bag herself. He says, no, let me help you. So he's pushing her boundaries here. She says no. No is a complete sentence. But he's not interested in it. He's pushing the boundary. Come on, let me help you. No is a complete sentence. And because he was pushing those, she felt uncomfortable. She felt like, okay, that's right. Everything is good. Then he gives way too many details throughout the conversation, like his clock doesn't work anymore and he's late and whatnot, to build trust and to build rapport and to make her feel like she's actually talking to somebody trustworthy. Then they're going up and he is promising her that he will leave after he puts the food in her apartment, which, in and of itself is really strange, but people do have this thought that they have to be consistent. So he already helped her up, therefore she can already also let him into the apartment. So that's also a big no. And here again, there was this boundary pushing. No, it's all right, I got it. Oh, that's fine. Let me just do it. So in this conversation, there is so much wisdom. And not in this conversation, but in this little scene, there's so much wisdom on red flags that we need to watch out for. And as much as I would love to cover everything, obviously I won't. Read the book, The Gift of Fear. It's incredible. But there's something that I want to touch on. And this is the importance of saying no and the predator interview. The predator interview is extremely important, and it teaches us a lot about situational awareness and things that we can do to improve our safety. And when I say improve our safety, I again want to say that I said it in other videos. Safety is just never guaranteed. Like, there's no guarantee for safety. You might be just bringing your kid to kindergarten and something terrible happens. I might be walking my dog and something terrible happens, some surprise, some whatnot. So this video, like all of the videos, is made with a lot of empathy for people who had fallen victim. And it is never to blame anybody, ever. It is my goal to improve the potential for safety and improve your skills of becoming aware of situations, of becoming confident in your body, of mastering the predator interview with a complete fail. So if you're ever interviewed by a predator, my goal is that you are the worst candidate for them, the worst candidate out there. How can you do that? Number one, break the people pleasing. Don't try to accommodate other people. That goes for people that you know and for people that you don't know. We know that cases of SA are very, very often from those that we know and from those that we trust. And there are those rare cases where it's a stranger. But often people know one another. And when there is a person that's a people pleaser, and I only learned in my 30s to let go of this people pleasing thing that I had. Still have it sometimes, but it's getting less. When it comes to like self-defense stuff, it's definitely, I'm not a people pleaser. When it comes to stranger, not a people pleaser, but in other situations. Anyway, in the situation that I described with this woman, it seems like she felt that she needs to be nice to him. That since he actually helped her with some food that fell down, some item in the shopping bag that fell down, that a thank you is not enough, but she also needs to do something. And when he offers his help, she doesn't want to be rude. That is accommodating somebody. And here it's so important that you listen to yourself before you listen to what society tells you should do. Being nice, being accommodating. When somebody does a favor to you, you would have to return it. Now, it's a beautiful thing, obviously, to return a favor. It's a beautiful thing to help others, but it's not a must. Okay, when other people do something for us, it's not a must that we return anything. Okay, what other people doing is, strictly said, none of our business in this case. So break this habit of people pleasing. Learn to stand your own ground. Learn to become your own fan. Learn to become your own supporter. Learn to stand up for yourself first. Become a little bit egoistic. Become a little bit egocentric. Wonderful. Think about, what do you want? Not about, what does this other person want? What would society want me to do? What would my mother, my father, my grandmother, my grandfather, my say? We need to let go of what society tells us is good for us, right for us, and a proper way of interacting with others. Again, obviously it all falls within a spectrum, right? We don't need to become like super dicks to everybody. But when it comes to our safety, better to be safe than to be sorry. So better being a little bit more harsh here and there than to not be harsh enough and to feel the consequences. Second, empower your own needs and your own safety. That's again, unlearning to be a people pleaser, thinking about, what do I actually want in this situation? How do I feel safe in this situation? What do I owe myself, not other people? Number 3, pay attention to your intuition. Your intuition is the most primal aspect. I said it before. It is the thing that comes before your mind is actively thinking. It recognizes stuff. It's like, for example, I have a cat, and sometimes my cat does like weird things like this. This is the instinct kicking in. Here's something at a place where there's sudden, where there's usually quiet. She notices something. But we as humans, we learn to override this intuition, this feeling that something doesn't feel good right now, something doesn't feel right now, something is different, something is different. It might just be like a little something in the face, like some facial expression that we see and we're like, there's something off. Notice this instinct, don't try to brush it off, become more aware of it. And that doesn't only go for self-defense, but that goes for your life in general. See if you can become aware of certain things that feel different, funny, odd, strange. It might give you clues, it might save your life. And then, this really is my favorite topic, and this is my last topic. I'm gonna leave it at that. If you're interested, leave me a comment and I'm happy to expand on all of the topics, because even though my videos are relatively long, but I feel like I'm not getting the all of it as I would love to. And that's boundaries. When you set boundaries, that's self-care. And those boundaries include that you decide how you want to be treated. You decide that you don't like other people's invasive questioning, and you decide your dedicated space and you enforce it. That's the most important part. A boundary is not something that you should push. This is your personal space. You don't want other people to invade that space. Learn to see what you feel comfortable with and trust your gut, trust your instincts, trust what you feel is right for you in a given moment by a given time. And it might be very different for different people. And that's fine. It might be a person that you feel like, this person can come really close to me. There might be a person that you think, stay away from me, like as far as you can. I had this incident recently where I went on a seminar and there were like the most amazing people. And there was one person that I couldn't figure out, but I just didn't feel comfortable. And I was avoiding them. And that's fine. That's fine. So for you as well, you don't need to be comfortable with everybody, and you don't need to explain why you're uncomfortable with a certain person. It's self-care, and you owe your life only to yourself. Why was I talking about this? First of all, I was talking about those topics or about this topic because I want you to be safe. I would love everybody in this world to be safe. I cannot do that obviously, but I hope that I'll be able to increase your awareness of how important it is for you to enforce your personal safety, your personal space. How important it is for you to reinforce your setting, your safety, your boundaries, your life. I want you to feel safer and I want you to feel more empowered. I also want you to build stronger and to build more balanced relationships. Because when you have strong boundaries in relationships that you're having, people won't like it at first, especially if you're not known for your strong boundaries, but it will be beneficial to everybody. And even if it wasn't, you don't owe benefit to other people, you owe benefit to yourself. So that might sound, I don't know how that comes across, but I really mean it. You owe it to yourself. You owe this life, your life to yourself, your precious life. And also it's amazing when other people know how they can treat you, when other people know what you're okay with. Because if you're never saying it, people will feel really insecure about you and about your presence. They will not know how to interact with you. And to be very clear, if you're not saying what your boundaries are, other people who are well-meaning, not only the ones who are, potential predators, but people who are well-meaning, they might push your boundaries without actually knowing it. So it's really important that you are owning them. And it is even just as important that you are failing that predator interview, the potential predator interview. And you will fail it by being rude, just thinking about yourself, and you will fail it by standing up for yourself and saying no as a complete sentence. It's a non-negotiable, because as soon as you say no and then like, maybe okay, the other person knows that your no isn't a no after all. So I hope you take this away. Stay safe, stay strong, enforce your boundaries. Think of yourself because you owe it to yourself, and fail that interview. I hope you'll never get into an interview like that, but if you do, I want you to fail it. D- if that exists. It doesn't exist, but if it would, I would like you to have like the worst interview in the world. So stay safe, and I hope you liked this video. If you did, I'm always happy for comments, and I still haven't received a troll comment, so if you feel like trolling, now's the time. No, I'm joking, don't troll me. Okay, I wish you a wonderful day, wonderful evening, wonderful night. I hope to see you in my next video. Goodbye.